Good afternoon, ladies.
Stop.
It's
good evening.
It's afternoon.
Yes, but we have a format.
No.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Weekly WAYPN. I'm Cal.
I'm Sun.
You're belligerent.
This is an afternoon podcast coming to you live from my house.
Do you see what I have to live with?
So you're Henry and I'm Sangita, and we are going to start off with Mr. Patrick Cunningham.
Why are you like this?
It's slip of the tongue.
Stop. For a whole 5 minutes.
Yes.
I'll slip it. If you guys could see her smile, grinning from ear to ear, it's like Duper's delight.
It is not.
It is. Look at us.
Okay, what does Mr. Patrick Cunningham have to say?
Well, he's just showing off some balloon boys, some
Halfling balloon boys. Is apparently another unit has been finished, and I like how they are looking.
Yeah, they're looking quite good. I like they're fairly colourful. Like, I think that contrast is his thing of choice, but that doesn't make it bad.
I do feel like with this particular piece, maybe because I haven't seen something from him in a while or what, but I feel like he's managed to make the contrast on the balloon guys look almost just like it was layer painted, rather than,
I like it,
which is very good. I think he is gaining more and more control with contrast paint, that he's making it look more.
It might be the new. No, they're all contrast paints in the background. So
except for the balloon here, like the blue, you can see the very obvious pooling.
But I don't think that that's bad, because like it looks like, it's blowing against that thing. It looks like how balloon would look, in my opinion.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like, in comparison to what he's done in the bottom half,
I'd
not
say
as clean. I think.
I'd say here they look quite nice, but you've got to remember that neutrals are, for the contrast paints, always come up a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I suppose you're right on that.
By the neutrals, insert the meme, we have no strong opinion one way or the other. What I mean by neutrals is not yellow.
Neutral colours.
Yeah, not yellow, red, blue. I mean like browns and natural
browns,
colours.
Blacks and greys and whites. These are neutral colours. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that they've come up really well. Look, as far as I'm concerned, I think he's usually aiming for tabletop, so I think he's absolutely smashed it out of the park with these guys. But I think that you're right, that do more of whatever it is that you're doing with these guys and less of what you're doing with this.
I think it's because, like, with painters like Patrick, Calvinoni, I think Lance as well, who are predominantly contrast paint users, what I think I'd like to see from them is to show how they've sort of slowly start to master the use of contrast paint, because you can make it look really good if you just know how to control the paint. I think
I'm gonna just move on, because I think we pretty much said it before. But this one didn't kick off as well as we had hoped, but such is life. We still want to put more things that we love out there and put out more love, less hate. I hope that's what you see from us guys, but only you guys will be able to tell. Not as much us, because, of course, we will always have a biased view. Alright, so next up, we've got some from Calvinoni.
Yes, and he's got these pig-faced orcs. And I think the picture's fine, Cal. It's come up quite clearly, so we'll be able
so did he say something about the pictures?
He said that the pic camera was having some problems.
No, look, the background is the main issue when it comes to those sorts of things.
But the models are in focus, so that's good.
Yeah. So let's take a look. I think that they've come up well. I think that green's come up well, but I don't think that there's a whole lot of value difference between them.
I was gonna say that the contrast is not as high. Maybe a darker cloak.
A darker cloak or darker skin, either way, right? Like, I think that the skin is almost the exact same tone as the
brown.
Yeah. And, like, that essentially is what I think is the biggest hindrance with contrast paints. And that's why people use those... See, like, that looks really nice.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of variation going on.
Yeah,
there.
I think... Let's take a look. I wonder if he's actually... If, like, that's pooling or if he's actually done his own sort of layering in there. Because, like, I like the look of that. I think that looks quite nice. Because that's what we're more looking for. Because that gives visual appeal right there. But I do think that there's little things that you could do. So, for example, these little things here.
The stitchings.
Like, they could be a different colour. The bags could be a different colour. Things like that.
Like, like bring out some of the accent pieces in the piece, right?
Yeah. Because I think, like, that might be what we were noting. Like, yes, there isn't tonal variation, but I think if we saw more colours on them, I don't think we would have as quickly gone towards that. Like, if the belts and the bags were different colours.
Like, the belt could be a nice dark leather brown.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Like, if he's got snakebite leather, just literally put that over the top of that and it'll look fantastic.
Yeah. Snakebite leather is one of the best contrast formulated contrast paints.
I absolutely love it. And it looks like we're still getting members on the regular, which I like. So I just wanted to go over these for a bit because people actually got into this a bit. So Cruz's hobby dream is to have a shed where he can paint and display all of the Warhammer that he has. And, like, cost seems to be the primary factor there, which is why he hasn't done it.
External factors.
Yeah. Cal is to consistently be playing games again. I started almost 46 years ago, but there's never been anything consistent for me. But in real life, the Satanic Panic, no one else has really gotten into the interest. So I think one of the things that you need to do, Cal, is, like, hook up with a local gaming group, you know, or, you know, a friendly local gaming store. And so next up, Cian was talking about how he loves painting, but he gets quite frustrated even in casual games. And I think the reason for that is, Cian, try out, rather than 40k, try out something like something smaller, maybe like Frostgrave, Necromunda, smaller games like this, and see if you still have those same sort of tendencies. Because it might just simply be the amount of time, because the more time you put in, the more invested you feel.
Yeah, I can understand that's something I personally don't like about, you know, certain tabletop games.
Yeah.
Is that it takes too long to complete. Like, you're spending 2-3 hours just to get a game finished when maybe you just want to spend an hour playing a game and call it done.
Yeah, or like 2 hours. 2 hours is sort of my sweet spot for gaming. You know, you spend 2 hours and then you're like, okay, yeah. Like, I feel...
good.
Yeah. And like, then you can talk about the game after. You know, honestly, I feel like the game itself is like the peripheral.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, it's more about hanging out with your mates and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so Angela said, my hobby goal is to be able to make a streaming show. Yeah, you know, I reckon, like...
You can. It's actually quite easy in the sense that you don't have to do too much. You just gotta film yourself painting something, anything, trust me, people will come and watch.
Well, I think like the thing with like Angela does role playing groups and that sort of thing, and she's done cosplay stuff. I reckon, Angela, if you did something where you showed how you put together your cosplay pieces,
Or like how you set up a game table, no?
yeah. Well, no, I'd say more the
don't know anything.
cosplaying pieces, because like that's not an oversaturated market.
Yeah, well, to be fair, ever since I found out what Angela does, that was completely new to me. Like what she is doing is very different, and I've never seen anything like that.
And you're interested, yeah?
Yeah, and I'm just like I have very little context. To me, it's so brand new that I have very little context as to what she does on a whole, that I can't really say what might work, what might not work. But it depends on you. Maybe you're trying to do streaming for marketing purposes or streaming for casual
no,
purposes.
I think she just wants to stream.
Okay.
All right, so Carrie says to have all the models and terrains that she has displayed and are all painted. All right, Carrie, well, look, Joseph just down below is somebody who's worked really hard at painting all of his collection, and he just put his mind to it. Make a spreadsheet, divide your time, make a plan. Like, that's the main thing. Make a plan.
And making a plan that you know you can stick with.
Yes.
You know, overpressuring yourselves to try and fit more and get more done in a short period of time is most times what doesn't help people at all.
We have no idea about that.
This is something I learned today in a video I was watching about how to actually organize your home.
You said you were working the whole time.
I wasn't. I was taking breakfast and I was watching my videos to wake up, and then I came and I did things. Anyway,
She's a liar.
so this video is about organizing your home, right? And one point was about how don't organize things to make other people fit your system. That will not help you maintain the organization of your home. Make the system in line with the people's existing habits. That way they just naturally do it. So that is what I'm trying to say with you. Make the plan fit with your habits. So you have to know yourself in the sense that, okay, if I do X, how will I keep with it? Will I just give up on it halfway? Try to fit it to what you already have and habits that you have. Even if you know they're bad habits, how do you make it fit so that your bad habits don't get in the way of it? And that way it's easy to maintain. You'll most probably maintain it.
All right. Let's move on. But that was like not even a full line. You're like,
yes, because
like,
you
I
always
want to be heard.
You always ask me to move on, but I don't ask you to move on.
Yes, you do. You just do it with hand gestures so no one can see you.
Yeah, it's called being considerate. Anyway.
So Stephen wants to thin his paints consistently. Don't we all? Well, just that airbrush, it's driving me.
Is he
absolute
talking
mental.
about airbrush?
No, he's just talking about
Thinning his paint.
Yes.
Well, Brushstrokes has a very good
yes,
video.
he's just being. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
All right. So Joseph says that he wants to have his whole pile of shame fit on a single tray.
How does that make sense?
What do you mean? How does it make?
Oh, okay. Now I get it. Okay, I in my brain visualized all his painted models fit on a single tray.
No, the opposite.
Yes, that's yeah.
But see, like, I think that he is the perfect example of somebody who has the goal and goes for it, right? Mm-hmm. And like the thing is, right, when it comes to our lives, right, we've got to find pleasure somewhere. We've got to find fulfillment somewhere. And like, look, I'm not the dude bro guy with the hat backwards on YouTube trying to help you achieve your goals and what's the thing they said, like passive income and all of this BS. You know, like
I don't know.
None of this nonsense. All I can help with is with this hobby stuff, and I think, Joseph, just keep doing what you're doing. Play less Diablo, and you'll get there. You like that's what you do. Like, that's why you're like really my hobby hero, because like I think I do up nice minis. I hope I do up nice minis. Well, people pay me for it, hopefully. But like the thing is that he's my hobby hero because he just smashes it. He's just like, all right, here's my goal. I'm absolutely going to, absolutely smash it. And remember that time where he's like, no, you guys can be harsh with me. And I'm like, no, you set out a goal and then you achieved that goal. And like giving somebody a hard time for doing exactly what they said they were going to do, like that makes no sense at all. Mm-hmm. Right? Whereas, yeah. But anyway, like, Kerry, just look to how Joseph does things, and that's how you get it done. So Patrick was saying that he wants to have a game where he's got everything that he owns and all of his friends sort of owns for a big Kings of War. Sorry, no, he used in acronyms.
KOW.
How do we mock
No,
this?
you can't mock it because he's already used
he
word.
does. He did.
He followed the rules.
He did follow the rules.
So now we can't make fun of you.
Yes.
Oh man.
But yeah, so just like have a big, massive all-in game with his mates, and I reckon that'd be really fun. Just
seems like a doable goal.
I think the big thing would be set up the table for yourself, right? And then get another mate over one week, and then another week, and then just make that the thing for that season. And when I say season, I mean like summer, winter sort of thing.
Okay.
And like you guys each week, come over, have some beers, or whatever your drink of choice is.
Hot chocolate.
Or, whiskey.
Hot chocolate.
Bourbon.
Yes. Chai latte.
But yeah, and just go for it. But I'm kind of glad that we did this, and I think we need to come up with another decent one where we have everybody sort of talking those on. All right, so next up we have Lance. And these are works in progress, not finished. So we'll take a look and see how he's going with it.
This is a Game of Thrones box set.
Yep.
Baratheon attachments.
Sadly, I see I need to replace 2 aging metallics because they would not thin properly again. If you've got a vortex mixer, try that. Try a dropper bottle.
Yeah.
Sorry, not a dropper bottle.
Acrylic medium.
Shh. Let me speak for once. The metal ball bearings in there, and just and try that in a vortex mixer and just mix like hell, because that's how I've gotten some of the really old paints to come to life.
If you don't know what a vortex mixer is, it's essentially sometimes also advertised as a test tube shaker. It's a very small, very powerful vibrating machine that vibrates and also spins the tube that you put in the middle of the hole. So essentially that's what it is. We could always pop a picture of it inside it so you can find it. But yes.
Yes, you could put it there with the so,
I know what you're talking about.
so yeah. I see what he means, but I mean, like, I don't think that steel looks that bad, but obviously the skin is not done.
I like the green The greens come out quite nicely.
But I do believe that he's done this one up.
He finishes it in a later post.
Yeah,
Yep.
so we'll take a look later. But it's not looking as bad as you've made it out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for this.
It's Angela. Okay.
I know it's been a while. The latest session I played in ended with us running into a night walker, so I had to paint this guy for this week. I used a lot of layers of dark purple, grey and blue to get a dark but not black effect. I'm struggling on how to do more highlights though. I did some lighter blue, but not sure if I should go much lighter. Eyes need a little cleanup too. It was nice to paint something again after a bit of a break, even if there was a lot of trust the process going on.
Alright, well let's take a look. So, one of the things I was thinking with this, right? See these wisps here? I think that you could go a lot lighter with these. Maybe even into a magenta, like a purple into a magenta sort of thing.
You could use the...
Because you see there's some purple in there already.
soft
Makeup brushes?
yeah, like a fluffy makeup brush, and you can do the base with like a sort of magenta mixed with white and brush it up, feather it up, and then a green tips.
Go like a pure magenta and then do the magenta mixed with white. So I like the way that she's done it, right? It's got a very particular look. This model I 100% would have cheated with. You know what I would have done with this model? Oh, that looks much better in the light, doesn't it?
You can see the purple.
Oh, yeah, no, look at that. It's come out really nice.
I think it's fine though. Like if
look,
you really wanna highlight something, just brushing like with the soft makeup brush, use a lighter version of whatever color you already used.
Seeing this in the camera,
yeah,
I actually wouldn't do that much with this. I think it looks like once it's in the camera, when I should say the video camera, it looks so much better, don't you think?
Yeah. I know
actually,
Angela's style, and she wants to do more with it.
Yeah, well, I think maybe the magenta for sort of the cloudy smoke. Maybe some white tips in the eyes to sort of give that glowing effect. But, sorry, what I was saying before I got to this camera thing is I totally would have cheated and put a gloss paint on this, and you know the galaxy effect?
Oh!
From the SMS. That's what I would have done. I just would have...
It's a colour shifting.
Colour shifter. And, like, that's what I would have done. Just a pure colour shifter. I think the... what's the kaiju monster called that we have?
Kaiju monster?
The one that I did up for Bushido, the water dragon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is just the water dragon.
Yeah.
Ryujin, they call it.
Yeah, Ryujin. Like, if you see the galaxy effect in that video, that's what I would have gone for.
It's very subtle, just a very subtle...
I'd say maybe some magenta with the smoke. Like, I get what she's doing with the horns, but I feel like it could... Oh, you know how you said going into the green?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. She could use that sort of very emerald green, desaturated, but highlight.
Emerald green is not desaturated. It's very saturated.
Yeah, I know, but desaturated, so it's not too overpowering as a highlight. Because maybe I'm seeing it in the TV a bit different, because TV is a bit more saturated, right? But I can see like highlights of green along the muscles, the higher points of muscles, and it will give it that sort of oil slick look, which will be very nice.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe, like, I think having some greens in it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't desaturate at all. I'd go like really highly saturated for the highlights and the horns. I think that could be good. Yeah. And like magenta with the smoke, because when I saw it in the video, I was like, the flesh, the skin, all great, but I think that she could push
Yeah,
the
the
smoke
purple
a little
didn't
up.
show up as good in the pictures as it did in the video.
Video, yeah, not wrong. So Jason Wills, Shadowhawk from BattleTech. Not quite finished yet. That this will be a gift to the friend I'm seeing over the weekend. Kodiak needs some basing, but I'm happy overall.
Is the Kodiak the one your daughter's been doing, or have you started a Kodiak on your...
No, I think this is his one. So, with this basing, I feel like it needs something more there.
Yeah, and I think the rocks are too one-colored as well. It could use some
like
pigment.
a wash or something?
Yeah, a wash, pigment powder, something to create some variation.
Yeah.
Because it's just all one color.
I think like the actual model itself looks nice though. It's very hard going from like sort of your standard 28mm to BattleTech, because BattleTech I think is, as far as scale goes, I think for the actual models it would actually be something like 5mm or something. So even though this model,
It's puny.
yeah, even though this model is, actually 28mm to, 32mm, right? An actual human being would be like 5mm on its base. So a
Interesting.
human being would probably be slightly bigger than that rock there.
Oh, wait, are you talking about in the scale of...
In the scale of the game,
Oh,
a
okay.
human being would be slightly bigger than that rock there.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a big boy.
Yeah, and so like different things apply. So I think it's looking good. I like the eye and that sort of. I do think that BattleTech, unfortunately, has all of these flat lines which cry out for edge highlighting, but I hate edge highlighting. So I think it's fine. I think it's very much tabletop, but it all depends on where you're aiming for. I think this guy looks good.
Not sure about the blood coming out from the mouth, if it is blood.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's going for there. Like, what it's meant to try and be, or if it's like... If that's sort of like a rust effect, I think just...
It's too red to be...
Yeah, just go straight for some dirty down rust. But I think like the idea of a rust effect giving the idea of a of like a mouth dripping blood,
yeah.
is a very cool concept.
I think that could work out much better.
Yeah. But I like the blue contrast against the red. That looks really nice. But I feel like they're too far separated from one another. Like, I reckon some blue right next to those red claws there, like this little, like the little shaft where they exit being blue, would look nice. Things like that. But yeah, they're looking good. But yeah, anyway. So, Stephen has
He said he updated it, yeah.
Alright, so you want to read out?
Happy Whip peeps. This week I'm not doing much, but I'm attempting to make my first display stand for the Blood Bowl team. I've also primed and black primed and dry brushed it. One step closer, my swamp is coming along too so well. Beautiful.
Alright, so I think he goes backwards with the edit. So here we go, we start out here. Yeah, it does look that way. So we start off here. Let's take a look. So I talked to him about this and I was just saying you need some sand in between, so that there's that sort of thing. But I think what he's doing is using one of those Lego display things.
Is it?
Yeah, because see the little...
Oh yeah, okay.
That's a cool idea.
Clever.
But let's take a look at the next bit. Yeah, and then he puts some more stones down. And then he adds the sand. And what I was saying to him about the sand was, it's not as... Oh, Have I? Yeah, here we go.
Oh.
What I was saying with the sand was next time he needs to have a bit of a mixed grade sand because like it's all sort of one tone and it doesn't have that level of variation there. But I think that works out. It'll work out fine with the swampiness, but we'll see how it goes. Because is this the final? Okay, I think this is the finished product. So let's take a look at this. Okay, alright.
Oh, it's loaded now.
Oh, okay, it was just saying forbidden. Okay, so you see here how we've got more of that sort of dripping, oozing sort of stuff there, right? Rather than up against those hard planes.
Uh-huh.
So there's there on the base and then there down there. It like feels very natural as if it's in the same place. And like this fits really well to here as if like that is a part of this.
Yeah.
And this is what you want. You want your guys to match your environment. And it feels much more like... Yeah, I think this
I really
is...
like the grass pattern.
Yeah, I think that it's come up really well.
I wonder if we use more of that paper fern.
No, it doesn't look like there's any more of the paper fern on any of this. But, okay, so... Obviously, our goal is not just to ogle, it's to try and give real feedback. Alright. So I think having the sands had a really good effect. I'm not as sure about the gravel. What do you think? The gravel sort of not 100% fits. What do you think?
I feel like it gives a little more pondy look. More pond type of vibe.
So, like, the reason why I say that it doesn't fit is, like, the texture feels a bit separate, but he does have it on this base, and, like, I didn't even realise that integrated into that, so that's good, that's spot on. If, like, your base sort of blends in perfectly with the models on it, that's a good sign.
Yeah, because he needs to obviously do that or else it'll look odd.
Yeah. So
I think it all sort of flows nicely, and I'm not sure if this would be possible or if this would have made things more difficult. But I wonder if the very last tier, could I borrow a mouse for a second?
Okay.
So the very last tier, so this whole section here,
I
could
know
be
what you're gonna say. Yep.
just a swamp. Because it looks like the thing is flowing down into the swamp or something. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah. Okay.
What did you think I was going to say?
No. Well, once you started on that path, like I realized what you were going to say. I think that's a good idea. I'm not sure how feasible it is.
That's what I was saying.
You know, like I think that's a great idea. But does it work?
Yeah, like we're not saying change it now because you're already done and it's great. But like I'm saying, could that have been something, or would it have been feasible to do that? Yeah.
I think he could do it potentially because you see how it sticks to stuff. This is a lot like that water gel that we use.
Yeah, and
it's made by the same
company. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's the one bit of advice. I think that will tie it all together. Because here, right? Just imagine we've got this clean line at the bottom. Because we see some of the base itself down here, right? Some of the display stand, right?
Yes.
And if you had that hard separation between the display stand and the rest of it, right, I think that could really just make it pop. So I think that could be the one thing that would make it step above. But I do think one thing for sure, you definitely have it matching your guys. And that's the most important part of having a display stand.
It looks really good.
It does look really good. All right. Let us move on, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
me.
you.
All right.
What are you painting now?
I don't know. Calvinoni's painting more piggies. Alright, so I've been painting up a few things. I'm pretty tired. So I've been doing up a sort of winter themed D party. I've been continuing work on these guys, the Ashes of Faith people. I've been working on another one. Like, they're so weird. And a lot of Krieg. I think we're up to 150 now.
Probably.
So that's me. That's what I have been doing. Do you want to assault me with your words?
No. I think I'll skip you this time around.
I see. Okay, so
Tyrone.
He wanted to work on his bases after seeing the last podcast. And I really want to get into this because we don't often have people like actually get into things. I think Cal Benoni once tried up the Zenithal.
Zenithal Prime he did.
But I think like he should really have another go with it. So this I think is good because it's got the 3 elements, right? It doesn't look like 3 elements straight off the bat, but you've got levels of variation. Right, so you've got your first level of variation here, then up here, and then with the rock here, right? This is a perfectly fine base as far as bases go, right? It's not exciting. What you would want is a very sort of exciting model on this, so that the base isn't stealing from the model.
Like very color poppy, very like in your face model.
All right, so this is one of the ones I wanted to make a comment on. So you see how he's got this tuft here on the rock?
Yeah.
Now you can have a tuft on a rock, but
it wouldn't be that big.
But more importantly, it wouldn't be like that. It could be that big. You'd have to have dirt around that tuft first. So you put the dirt like you've got down here, right? The muddy sort of dirt that you got down there. Put that on the rock as if it's like built up from whatever is like, maybe like this is washed away from rain or something like that. This base, just really good, except for this one bit here, because it's Superman's glasses. It breaks the verisimilitude.
I wonder if he could use a little bit more variation between the larger stones and the brown of the ground. So maybe a lighter brown, dry brushed over the larger rocks.
He could, but like this is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. Like I like this. The only thing is this, that bit right there, because you've got those variations. So you've got these big rocks here, you've got the tufts, you've got the smaller rocks, and then finally you've got sort of the shattered gravel, that sort of thing, right? But that right there is Superman's glasses. That's like, how can nobody tell that he's Clark Kent when all he does is put on glasses? Mm-hmm. That's the one thing, because it just stares at you in the face almost.
Okay.
So this, once again, same thing. Like, I really liked this base, but with this one, right, you need to have something around the rocks themselves to sort of give the idea that they're hanging on to something. So, like if you had moss on the rocks, that would work. But the other thing is the edge right here. You see how the edge is that sort of brightish green?
Yeah.
Like, you need to be able to cover up that edge.
Right.
So, get more of your static grass, that sort of thing, put it around the edge. All it needs is just more PVA and just more grass and you're good to go. Right? But I really liked how he took on the feedback and then he really sort of responded to it, and he really went for it. And I think, like, the thing is, we see a lot of variation with these bases, right? These are all very different bases, in my opinion, right? But I think that with all of these, they're great. They're fantastic. They they feel like real areas, with the exception of this bit right here, which just sticks out like dog's bollocks. You know, like you're just like, oh, there it is. Oh, my eyes. But yeah, like, I feel like these are real places. Like that's the big difference between this and the other ones. And we've got some more bases coming up. Tips Thursday was just craft paint is good. Craft paint is good.
Craft paint.
Alright. So next up we have Lance.
Lance.
Lance is doing something very similar to Cal, I do believe. Was it Lance who was doing up the he was the one who was doing up the Baratheons, right?
Yeah, this is the Baratheons,
yeah,
so he's done
Baratheons.
up. Yeah, completed because he showed us the whip.
So I think I like the greens. I do think that those steels need some more work.
I think you could use a wash because it's too bright, maybe.
Yeah, well, do remember he did say that the steels came out of an old pot. I think it's time to buy some new steels. But you do need a second and third coat with those rims, but the basing's fine. The basing is good. I like the basing. Face is a bit...
I don't think he's really looking at wanting to make the faces
But yeah.
anything like fantastic. I think he's more like focused on the more main parts that he can get to. But yeah, I mean, judging by the picture, we would say the face need work.
Yes, the faces need a bit of work, but get some extra coats on those. And like, he is mainly painting for playing. But yeah, the faces are a bit derpy. I'm sorry. All right. And oh yes, I liked that he told us this because we are still missing our Orky boy.
Yeah.
And some other people.
Was it Calvin EP?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't come up in such a long time.
We're worried about him.
Yeah.
All right. So, I should have not clicked that.
If you click the X, it'll be fine. If you click back, that'll be a problem.
All right, here we go.
Bit of a long one, but I'm doing Necromunda for a mate. He loves what I've done with the bases, so no pressure on getting the models to a similar standard. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Doomwood, and we will have a great weekend. Hopefully, we'll sleep at some point.
We will see.
But I really like these. You said that you like mine more, but like I know that he's going for like more a grimy sort of look, and mine was much more sort of dusty left, you know.
Dilapidated.
Yes.
Dilapidated.
Whereas his is more like grimy.
I wonder why grimy. Is Necromunda's grimy?
Well, yeah, some places will be grimy, you know.
Okay, yeah.
But like that I really liked back there where, you know, you see like the paint shredded off.
Yeah.
And there's the steel underneath.
Yeah.
Like that I think was very cool. I like what he's been doing with these like little sort of trench things as if like there's something going on in there.
Is it a drain? A drain.
I don't know what it is, but like
it's disgusting.
Yes, it is disgusting. I'll agree with that. But there was one where we were taking a look at things and we were like, no. Like, we really liked this. This looked fantastic. And then I think it's this one.
Because we were looking at the barbed wires too clean for such a grimy place. Yeah.
We're like, no. And then we saw not this one.
The next.
Not this one. It's...
Keep going, honey.
There it is.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, this is the one where we're like, yes, this is how it should look. because like with the other ones, it just didn't fit in. But I think that it's looking really good. Like it. See, like that I didn't like as much with the sort of like it being so clean, because it just didn't fit this place.
Yeah. He tried to go for like something was caught in its barbed wire and got shredded.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could have like bits of flesh there.
I'm not sure about this one here. I liked the other sort of rusty pillars sort of thing. But
I don't know what it is, but I kind of like it. It's cool.
Like.
Yeah,
I like
a rusted barbed wire.
That
was the one that you really liked, actually. This one's nice.
But I think that they're all looking pretty good, with the exception of the barbed wire. I just feel like the barbed wire is just not fitting at all. But I do like how you sort of got the grime-filled grates. Like it just feels appropriate. But yeah, I think...
Ooh, a camera.
A camera?
There's a security camera, right?
Well, somebody's not doing their job on the security camera. But yeah, so I think you did fantastic work. Wonderful. I do think that, you could work with those other ones, because if you can do that same effect with the sort of rust, I think do that.
I do like his display stands that he uses to take the pictures. It's quite cool. But yes,
well,
and that is all for today, this week.
Yeah, we had a pretty short one this time.
Very short. It's so short, it's uncomfortable.
I think it's because we're so used to doing big, long ones, and also because we were tired. We actually slept before doing this, so it's a bit different.
We did put an alarm, and it was like the first alarm went off, like, honey, we're getting up. It's like, no, go back.
I can hardly remember what I said.
1 hour, honey, 1 hour. It's like, 1 hour's over. It's finished. And then I put on the second hour, and then I said, honey, we get up now. I was like, no. I was like, okay, I guess we're going to bed.
What was the thing you said, like, during this sleep? I was not singing, but just saying the lyrics and pulling pants down.
Yes, I was just sleeping, and then all of a sudden you would just say, I'm upset. Oh no, he's dreaming about something. And then he says, my groceries all gone. Don't like it. And I was like, oh no, what's happening in his dream? Literally the next day, we were scrolling through 9gag or YouTube or whatever, and the song comes up and the lyrics play, and I was like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. Yeah, and then I was like, honey, you were saying this in your sleep yesterday. And
so
I was
not
like,
singing, just
you're saying it, because like there's a,
my shopping trolley murdered.
My groceries all just gone. Like, there's a tune, the singing of the tune.
But
he was just speaking the lyrics.
So I'm like, my shopping trolley's murdered. My groceries
just gone. He did say it like that, like, just gone, but it's like, oh no, someone's murdered his shopping trolley. I was like, whatever is going on there, okay, I'm just gonna go back to sleep and pretend nothing's happening. It's hilarious. He doesn't know anything that's going on in his sleep.
Well, we'll say goodbye, everyone, and we'll say the line. Keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great WAYPN weekend.
Bye.